Thank you so much for joining me today, Cory. How are you?
I'm good, Brittany. Thanks for having me. It's awesome to be here.
And so I want to talk about the rock side of all that is Cory
I
Marks.
love it.
And you're a rocker dude, and I love that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I grew up, listening to Merle Haggard and Waylon Jennings more. Like, I'm wearing a Merle Haggard shirt right now, but I always loved the just the purity and lyrics of country music, but the hard hit and stomp of rock and roll, and from Merle on one side, but I grew up on like Ozzy Osbourne and being from Canada, Rush, of course, and Deep Purple, and then in my teens as a drummer, you can't help but get into Pantera and Lamb of God and more progressive stuff like Dream Theater. So really my sound is just all mixed into that. It's a little Merle, it's a little Eric Church, it's a little Ozzy Osbourne. I was just featured in a movie called The Retaliators, which now with Halloween coming back around, I think it's available on Amazon, and it'll be on a few other apps as well. And it's funny because I'm in a horror movie, but I can't watch horror movies, believe it or not. So it's quite funny to be in one. There's songs like "Burn It Up" and "Blame It on the Double" that are featured in there, and you know, a song like "Blame It on the Double" has kind of got that, a bit of a country story, but definitely that stomp of the heavier rock and even metal a little bit, especially when we play it live, which I can't wait to do for you guys. And "Burn It Up" is just that was I pushed myself a little after coming off that when I found out I was going to be going out with Five Finger Death Punch and Brantley Gilbert across the U.S. was like, I wanted to incorporate some heavier stuff, especially if I'm going to be up there with guys like Ivan Moody. So, "Burn It Up" is that song where I even have some growls and metal screams in there, and it's a lot of fun to play live.
Eva Under Fire recently dropped a new single called Unstoppable featuring Cory Marks,
Yeah.
and we're playing it right now. Can you tell us how that collaboration came to be?
Well, being label mates, they'd asked me to feature on this song, "Unstoppable," and it's got that Bonnie and Clyde, a bit of a country story to it too, of two youngsters just raising some hell, getting in trouble, but having a lot of fun doing it. And Eva Armanda told me about that. The story was basically about her mom and dad growing up. Before even her time, she just wrote it based on those stories that she heard. And I'm all about that. Love my parents. I respect that a lot. So being asked to be on a song, a rock song, as a bit of a country feature nonetheless, on a song like Unstoppables was just really awesome.
No, it's an awesome song,
Thank you.
and you're no stranger to teaming up with big names in the rock world. I mean, you just released this song with Eva Under Fire. You and Lizzie Hale did a song together. You just went on tour with Five Finger Death Punch. Like, if you could choose any rock artists to collaborate with, who would you choose?
Oh man, there's such a long list. There's so many great artists out there. I mean, if there's any way to do something with Metallica, I just saw them in Montreal about 2 weeks ago for the first time, and it was like, man. Even my girlfriend asked me like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" Because I forget which song it was. I was just such in a moment, and I was just crying watching Metallica. But I was like, it's just so many years of great music, getting to see it live and that close. And Ivan got me those tickets, and I got to be right in the pit to see them after the show too. It was really cool. But I think Metallica would be one. Kid Rock would be another. Ozzy, I know, he's kind of chilling out a little bit, but I mean, if he was ever down for it, he'd definitely be a rocker I'd love to have. Zach Wild is another huge favorite of mine. Oh man, there's so many. Um, I think that's the ones I could think of right now. I mean, obviously, having guys like Tyler Conley of Theory of a Dead Man as well on "Blame It on the Double," and Jason Hook from Flat Black. Now Flat Black is really awesome, and I think two Canadian boys, as in Cory Marks and Chad Kroeger, I think would be a great song.
That would be so awesome. I would love to see
I think
that.
so.
So I gotta tell you, I cried like a little baby the first time I saw Metallica too. Same thing. I was like,
Oh, awesome.
"Well, this is real? I'm really here?" It was wild. It was awesome.
I think it was one when I started with one. I was just like, "Oh man, yeah, this is happening," and yeah, it was a great moment. It was a good time. And actually, a few weeks ago, I opened up for Nickelback at a big country festival here around the Toronto area called Boots and Hearts. So that was the first time I ever saw Nickelback live too. So that's kind of the shout out to Nickelback boys and Chad Kroger, and maybe they'll hear this and want to do something with me.
It'd be so fun. I would love to see that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for that collaboration. It's gonna be super fun.
It's gonna happen.
You said you would be interested in, like Dream World, Shoot for the Stars, doing a collaboration with Ozzy, right? I know that you worked with Kevin and Kane Churko. I am a huge
Hmm.
fan of the Churkos. They do amazing work. We've got stuff from Five Finger Death Punch. They did Shania Twain, Disturbed, In This
Papa
Moment,
Roach.
Papa Roach. How was it working with those guys?
They're just incredible. That entire Churko family, they've been nothing but amazing to me, and very much so like family now, and it's been such an honor and great time working with them. And they funny story. So my old manager grew up in Saskatchewan, and up here in Canada, and that's where Kevin's from there as well. And we were playing Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. I was opening up for Toby Keith at the big arena there. Um, and so Kevin Churko is from that area and found out about the date, and between my manager and him talking, so I'm going to come to his show and see what he's about, because he saw some videos, he saw pictures and the music, and so I'm going to go see what this guy's about. So I found that out, and I was like, "Oh shit, no pressure or anything." Not only am I opening for Toby Keith, but I know Kevin Churko somewhere in the audience, just judging my every move and seeing what I'm all about. So, long story short, I met him backstage. He was already there with a shot of Jack, and we took it together. And that I think was in June, and we scheduled, shook hands, and started working together in September. And Outlaws and Outsiders was the first song that we wrote, Kane, Kevin, and I. So very special, great people, and love working with them. And they've really, especially Kevin, has really shaped this sound that I've always dreamt of. And when I started writing back in 2011, going to Nashville, and I'll tell you this story right quick. So obviously, Ozzy being me being a huge fan of Ozzy, Black Rain came out just, I think, just before I graduated high school, and I just loved that album, but from songs to lyrics to production, everything. And I remember my dad driving me to Toronto to catch my flight, and we must have listened to the album twice over. And I knew all the lyrics, I was singing it and all that. And dad was like, this Kevin Churko guy, he's from Canada, and this is before I started like getting into producers and songwriters. I was so new to the game. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Not really know much about it. And I do remember saying, Dad, it'd be awesome to have like country music with this kind of production. And so that's 2011, 2012. Fast forward 4 years, I actually meet the guy. He's at my show. And then 2015, we write Outlaws and Outsiders together and Blame It on the Double for our first two songs. And the rest is history. And it was, man, it was just so cool. It's been amazing.
I love that. That's so cool. And I'm really glad that you guys were able to team up and work together. And their sound, it's their sound. And I think that's awesome that you were like, I want this sound on a country album. I love that.
Yeah, and like Outlaws and Outsiders became, a big top 10 hit in the US at rock radio. And I'm the first Canadian country artist to ever do that, and went number 3 in Germany. And fast forward 3 years, and now you got guys like, Jelly Roll and Hardy that are coming into the rock radio charts now too. So it's quite cool to see that venture and see people kind of driving that highway with me.
I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to talk to you about that. It seems big time within the past year, maybe two, past couple of years for sure, that country and rock, there's a lot of crossover going on from Jelly Roll to Hardy to Cory Marks. Why do you think that is right now?
I mean, the way I started was that I want to do something different. I wanted something outside the box. I wanted something real, and really stuff that anyone could relate to, guy, girl, or you know, 12 years old or 65 years old. And I really think that country music today has lost its roots and its foundation. So I wanted to make sure I kept that alive in some ways, but also, kind of not bring rock back, but like, basically, like I said, mash everything that I grew up on together into something, hopefully something special. And I think we've done that. And I think, it just, it can't be confined, it can't be contained. And I think, good music is good music, no matter it's rock or country, and the numbers speak for themselves. People are relating to it, and no pun intended, but it's beginning to be unstoppable.
No, unstoppable for sure. It is interesting that it is happening more and more frequently right now. And you know what? I'm stoked. Getting to know you and listening to your music, seeing Cory Marks on both charts, the rock and the country charts, is super awesome.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's really who I am, and I'm a huge fan of country. I'm a huge fan of rock. So again, just want to mash it all together and create my sound. And I'd love to be on country radio and rock radio at the same time, and just do my thing and have fun.
Well, Cory, tell us what we need to know. What is coming down the line from Cory Marks?
I got an album coming out in the early new year is what I'm hoping for. So if the label hears this, let's get it out, please. It's been a long wait. So it's actually really interesting. I have we're putting together a 20 song album, which is really going to mix up. This one is going to be, the first album, Who I Am, was I think 12 or 13 songs. A little bit, there's some acoustic and whatnot. This is really going to be like from that country to like straight up kick-ass rock and roll. So it's going to be a mix mash of everything. It's going to be 20 songs that I absolutely love, and that I've written over the last couple years. So we have a brand new album coming out in the new year. I'll have a brand new single out in the fall with some special guests as well, which I'm super stoked about. And I know there was rumors going around that I was going to be on Mick's album, but Mick's actually going to be featuring on another song of mine, which I'm super excited about. Mick Mars of Motley Crue, of course. And he's just been such a sweet guy and just a kick-ass friend. So yeah, we got new music. Got those shows at the end of the month, a new single in the fall, and then not that it matters so much over on your part of the world, but we'll be going out on a, can't say too much, but a massive cross Canada tour in the new year as well, and then come back over into the States and make some noise over there too. So there's so much going on. I'm really excited about it.
Well, Cory Marks, thank you so much for your time. It's been awesome chatting with you, getting to know you a little bit better.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your time,
Thank you. I appreciate you.
and we look forward to seeing you.
See you soon.